Before we dive in, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that the loudest people are usually the ones doing the least? They're busy talking, showing off, announcing every little move, but when you look closely, there's no real progress. Meanwhile, the quiet ones, the ones who stay focused, the ones who keep their heads down, they're the ones building something powerful. This message today is not about everybody else, it's about you. It's about learning the strength of silence, the discipline of focus, and the wisdom of protecting your energy. Because the truth is, success doesn't come from noise, it comes from patience, consistency, and staying locked in on your lane. If you listen closely and stay with me till the end, you'll walk away with a mindset that not only changes how you see your journey, but also how you protect it. So lean in, block out every distraction, and let's talk about how focusing on yourself and staying silent might be the very thing that takes you to the next level. The first key note is silence is power. And when you really think about it, silence is not just the absence of words, it is a weapon, a shield, and a strategy. In today's world, everybody feels the need to broadcast their life, their dreams, and even their struggles. Social media makes people believe that the louder they are, the more successful they look. But the truth is, the people who are really winning don't feel the need to prove it with words. They let their work, their results, and their lifestyle do the talking. Silence carries an authority that noise never will. When you stay silent, you protect yourself from negativity. The moment you announce your plans to the wrong people, you open the door to criticism, jealousy, and doubt. There are people who don't want you to succeed, and the second they hear about your goals, they'll plant seeds of doubt in your mind. Silence prevents that from happening. It keeps your vision safe while it's still growing. Think of it like building a house. You don't invite people in when the foundation is still wet. You wait until it's strong enough to stand on its own. Silence also forces people to wonder. When you don't speak on everything, when you don't explain every move, you create an aura of mystery and respect. People start paying attention, not to your words, but to your actions. And actions will always scream louder than words. A quiet person who moves with purpose is more intimidating than someone who talks endlessly but never delivers. Silence gives you the upper hand because no one really knows your next move, and that unpredictability is powerful. On a personal level, silence builds discipline. It teaches you to be patient, to trust the process without needing constant validation. It shifts your focus from trying to impress others to impressing yourself. You start realizing that you don't need the world's approval to chase your goals. You only need consistency and belief in yourself. The moment you understand that silence is power, you stop wasting your time proving and start investing your time building. The second key note is energy protection, and it is one of the most overlooked principles when it comes to growth and success. Every day, you wake up with a limited amount of energy, and how you choose to spend it determines how far you go. Most people waste that energy explaining themselves, defending their choices, and trying to make other people understand their vision. The truth is, not everybody is meant to understand you, and not everybody deserves an explanation. When you focus on trying to convince others, you drain the very fuel you need to chase your own dreams. Protecting your energy means refusing to pour it into places where it will not grow. Some people don't want clarity, they want control. They will ask you questions not to learn, but to judge. They will challenge your decisions not to guide you, but to distract you. When you keep feeding them answers, you end up exhausted, frustrated, and second-guessing yourself. Protecting your energy means setting boundaries on how much access people have to your mind and your spirit. It means realizing that your peace is more valuable than someone else's approval. Energy is like currency. If you spend it recklessly, you'll end up broke, drained, and stuck. But when you save it, invest it in the right projects, and use it wisely, you start to see growth and progress. Protecting your energy means saying no without guilt, avoiding arguments that lead nowhere, and walking away from negativity without hesitation. It's about guarding your focus the same way you'd guard your money. You wouldn't hand out your paycheck to strangers, so why hand out your mental energy to people who don't contribute to your purpose? Protecting your energy also requires silence. The less you explain, the less opportunity people have to drain you. The less you defend yourself, the more strength you keep for your own journey. Not everyone deserves to know your reasons, your struggles, or your plans. Some things are sacred, and when you keep them to yourself, you keep them powerful. Every ounce of energy you protect is energy you can redirect into your growth, your goals, and your future. The third keynote is growth in the dark, and it explains one of the most powerful truths about success. The real progress often happens when nobody can see it. Just like a seed planted underground, the most important part of growth takes place in silence, away from the spotlight. When a seed is buried, it looks like nothing is happening. To the outside world, it's invisible. But underground, roots are forming, foundations are being laid, and the seed is preparing itself to break through the soil. That's how life works. Your personal growth, your hustle, your discipline, it all develops in private long before anyone claps for you in public. In a society addicted to instant results and overnight recognition, it's easy to feel discouraged when your efforts don't get noticed right away. You may be working hard, sacrificing, staying up late, and still nobody sees it. That's when most people give up, because they confuse invisibility with failure. But what they don't understand is that growth in the dark is necessary. It's in the quiet hours, in the lonely nights, in the moments when nobody is cheering you on, that you're building the strength to handle what's coming next. If you rush the process, you'll end up unprepared. But if you trust the unseen work, your breakthrough will be undeniable. The dark is where character is built. It's where you learn discipline, where you sharpen your skills, and where you strengthen your mindset. The spotlight can be dangerous if you step into it too early, because attention without preparation can destroy you. Growth in the dark makes sure that when your moment comes, you're ready, not just to succeed, but to sustain that success. Think about every great achievement. It started with unseen effort, the musician practicing for years before hitting the stage, the athlete training long before stepping into the arena, the entrepreneur grinding in silence before the business takes off. Nobody saw the hours of failure, the private tears, the quiet sacrifices. But those hidden seasons created the foundation for their victory. Growth in the dark is not punishment, it's protection. It gives you the time you need to transform privately before you're revealed publicly. The fourth keynote is stay in your lane, and it is a reminder that comparison is one of the biggest thieves of progress. Too many people waste their energy looking left and right, trying to measure their life against somebody else's highlight reel. They scroll through social media, see someone else buying a car, traveling the world, or achieving something, and suddenly they feel like they are behind. The problem with that mindset is simple. You cannot win a race if you keep looking at the runners beside you. You trip, you lose focus, and you slow down. Staying in your lane means concentrating on your journey, your timing, and your growth without distraction. Everyone's path is different, and so is everyone's pace. Some people may succeed earlier, while others take longer to reach their goals. That doesn't mean one is better than the other. It simply means the routes are not the same. The danger of looking at someone else's path is that it blinds you to your own progress. You forget how far you've come because you're too busy comparing it to how far someone else appears to be. When you stay in your lane, you appreciate your small wins, your steady growth, and your personal battles that no one else even knows you fought. Comparison also breeds insecurity. The moment you start measuring yourself against others, you stop appreciating your unique gifts and talents. Staying in your lane allows you to sharpen what belongs to you. It lets you use your energy to build your strengths instead of watering seeds that were never yours to begin with. Think of life like traffic. If you keep swerving into other people's lanes, you create accidents. But if you stay focused on your own direction, you reach your destination safely. Staying in your lane also means minding your business. Don't worry about what people say. Don't get caught up in gossip. And don't waste time trying to outshine anyone. True success doesn't come from beating others. It comes from becoming the best version of yourself. When you honor your lane, you move with peace, confidence, and consistency. At the end of the day, the only person you need to compete with is the person you were yesterday. The fifth keynote is let results speak. And it is one of the most powerful lessons you can apply in life. Words are cheap, but results are undeniable. Anybody can talk about what they're going to do, about the plans they have, about the dreams they are chasing, but very few people follow through. When you let your results speak, you no longer have to defend yourself, explain yourself, or prove yourself to anyone. The evidence of your hard work becomes visible, and that evidence is louder than any speech you could ever give. People may doubt what you say, but they cannot deny what they see. The problem with talking too much is that it creates expectations. The more you announce your goals, the more pressure you put on yourself to deliver, and sometimes the pressure of appearances distracts you from actually doing the work. When you keep silent and focus on execution, you remove the unnecessary weight of public opinion. You free yourself from the need to perform for others and instead commit yourself to the grind that brings results. Results carry an authority that explanations never will. You don't need to convince people when your life is the proof. Another strength of letting results speak is that it eliminates unnecessary conflict. When people criticize you, doubt you, or underestimate you, arguing back won't change their minds, but results will. Success silences critics faster than any debate. The best way to answer negativity is by achieving what they said you couldn't. Every milestone you reach, every accomplishment you earn, becomes a statement in itself, a statement stronger than words. Letting results speak also builds respect. People may not like you, but they will respect what you've accomplished. They may not agree with your choices, but they can't deny the outcome of your discipline and consistency. Results demand attention even from those who once ignored you. And the beauty of it is you don't have to boast or brag, because your life, your work, and your achievements do the talking for you. At the end of the day, people remember what you did, not what you said you were going to do. Results are permanent proof of your effort, and once you have them, no one can take them away. The sixth keynote is patience plus discipline, and it represents the foundation of every lasting success story. Too often people want results fast. They want the dream body after a week at the gym, the successful business after a few months of work, the recognition after just starting out. But the truth is, anything worthwhile takes time, and patience is what separates those who quit from those who eventually win. Patience doesn't mean sitting still and waiting. It means continuing to work, continuing to show up, and continuing to believe, even when the rewards don't show up right away. Without patience, you give up during the process. With patience, you endure the process until the outcome comes. Discipline works hand in hand with patience. Discipline is what keeps you moving on the days you don't feel motivated. Motivation can fade, but discipline creates consistency, and consistency creates results. Every great achiever you can think of didn't rely on bursts of inspiration. They relied on disciplined habits. Waking up early, practicing daily, sticking to a routine, sacrificing distractions, all of that requires discipline. When you combine that discipline with patience, you create a mindset that refuses to quit, no matter how long it takes. One of the biggest traps people fall into is chasing validation instead of progress. They want applause too early. They want people to notice them before they've really built something worth noticing. Patience and discipline protect you from that trap. They remind you that your job is not to impress people along the way, but to stay committed until the breakthrough comes. Success doesn't reward speed. It rewards consistency. The one who keeps going brick by brick will always outlast the one who starts fast but quits halfway. Patience also gives you peace in the process. It teaches you not to rush, not to compare, not to force things before their time. Discipline then ensures that while you're waiting, you're not idle. You're putting in the work that will eventually pay off. The seed doesn't sprout overnight, and neither does success. Patience lets you wait for the right season, and discipline keeps you alive and strong during the wait. When both are combined, they create unstoppable momentum. So let me leave you with this. Life is not about how loud you can talk, it's about how strong you can move. Focus on yourself, stay in your lane, protect your energy, and keep building in silence. Remember, silence is not weakness, it's wisdom. You don't need to announce every step, because the world doesn't clap for the grind, it claps for the results. Be patient, stay disciplined, and trust that your time is coming. Your journey doesn't need validation from others, it needs commitment from you. The seed you're planting right now may be hidden, but one day it will break through the soil, and everyone will see the tree that grew out of your struggle. And when that day comes, you won't even have to open your mouth. Your success will speak for you. Good luck to each of you chasing your dream, and thank you for giving me your time, your focus, and your attention today. Go out there, lock in on your goals, and remember, stay silent, stay focused, and let your life do the talking.